Hello there, YouTube. Here to discuss recent news that INTERZ apparently is getting benched from Cloud9. At this point, it's looking like Buster is to be the likely replacement as of January 3rd. INTERZ has been a really solid player for this Cloud9 squad. Which Cloud9 kind of throughout the year not kind of having the results they wanted to, feeling the need to kind of shake it up, make a change. This VOD here, INTERZ pretty much tears up the Movistar Riders 27-11 powerhouse performance. A lot of times when you hear like, oh, support player in Counter-Strike, the name INTERZ will come up. He is known to be one of the best supports. And supporting in the sense that just like CT side anchor rolls, not an aggressive entry fragger. You can make the argument whether or not a supporting kind of player exists in Counter-Strike in this modern era, 2023. But INTERZ kind of falls in that category, kind of like a Perfecto style. Buster is the one who's replaced INTERZ. Just recently did a POV review of him as well. You want to check that out. Buster definitely was a supportive element, anchor player for that outsider squad. Cloud9 are hoping that getting a new player will shake things up, be what they need, so that they can actually compete, don't choke once they get start getting in the playoffs, because recently they just kind of been crumbling in big moments, notably losing to like Imperial, just teams where you think like there's no way Cloud9 loses. Losing to Greyhound at the RMR, like that game was insane. INTERZ in a 1v3 here. Does he clutch up? All right, 1 down, 2 down. Can he finish the meal? He does. He gets the 1v3 clutch. Made it look easy with the Galil there. I mean, as we can see there, INTERZ certainly does have a clutch element to his playstyle. I wouldn't say he's quite as clutch as like Perfecto, for example. He's close, he's close. INTERZ will certainly have a market. The rumors indeed come into fruition that he is going to be replaced, which at this point looks like an inevitability. Article released today that Buster is apparently going to be the one to replace INTERZ. A lot of people thinking that if Cloud9 replaces INTERZ, they should go someone heavy firepower style. But instead, they kind of go for someone very similar to INTERZ, kind of a more lurk role, more supportive element. I was hoping kind of changing one cog in the machine will potentially have big effects. Time will tell if this roster change can really bring into anything. I started to become like a 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐄𝐒 doubter for G2. But look at them, they just won the Blast finals. They had a huge performance. Manessi's been looking insane since 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶 went over to that squad. So sometimes it's kind of hard to speculate how exactly a roster change will affect a squad. INTERZ, though, definitely held in high regard around just Counter-Strike circles in general. So if he does indeed get benched by Cloud9, there'll certainly be a market for INTERZ. At this point, it looks like he's going to be a free agent, restricted free agent that someone could potentially kind of purchase from Cloud9. I'm trying to think what teams would potentially get better with the addition of a player like INTERZ in the like top 20. And I guess Na'Vi wouldn't need someone like INTERZ. They already had Perfecto. That's kind of the problem with SDY and Perfecto. SDY I feel like kind of has the same kind of play style, more like reactive play style, kind of like INTERZ, Busters, Perfecto. Not a very like aggressive entry fragger like Nipple coming into Na'Vi. INTERZ would definitely fulfill a role, kind of more of like a lurk, kind of more of a, I mean, kind of Rops will play this style of play for phase on Inferno, kind of apartments, lurk. Ooh, and this blue gem AK with the Cloud9 glitters is sexy. The crown at the tip. But if you get benched, might not feel like you still want to rock that AK. I'm trying to think what teams would potentially use a player like INTERZ. I mean, there's a lot of like tier 2 Russian teams that actually Forza, if they got INTERZ as their 5th, I mean, definitely a step below for someone like INTERZ to go to like 4s. But they have like Jerry, Shalfie. I know they were trialing 𝐂𝐒𝐍𝐄𝐒 as their 5th. I don't think Force ever decided on their 5th. They ended up picking up like Crad, I think is their 4th player. They're trialing out a couple different players as their 5th. Maybe they did end up having a 5th, but it's kind of interesting. Bloomage and INTERZ potentially kind of coming up in the free agent market. Imagine if you got a team with like Bloomage, INTERZ. Well, Bloomage, I plan to do a video on him soon. It's rumored he was going to be on that Bet Boom squad with a lot of the big Russian free agents like Forrester. There's just a lot of really solid Russian players in the free agency right now. You could develop a kind of a powerhouse roster with them. Could be interesting to see if someone like TSM, seeing Cloud9 success in the CSGO space, like, ooh, do we want to get a CIS squad of our own? Imagine you pull together a squad of like Chiron, Bloomage, INTERZ, SDY, Sensei is a solid opper, free agent, Oro 2K. There's like a lot of like, you could make a pretty crazy powerhouse CIS squad if you had the funds. INTERZ, I feel like this is such a quintessential INTERZ spot inside that small pit. Like, he loves to play in that small pit and just play like really safe. Not a lot of peeking, just smart post plants. The stuff Cloud9 is known for. That deeper plant lets him live from big pit there. If it was planted default, he would have been toast. INTERZ kind of just consistently playing this jiggle angle, trying to prevent any CT aggression in apartments. Movistar Riders are known to be a pretty solid Inferno team, but They have been slumping since the departure of Sun Pius. Martinez is a solid opper, but I have heard Sun Pius was kind of a secondary caller for that Movistar Riders team. Just so you could see him just take over CT side sometimes. Right now they're struggling. Cloud9, Inferno's not even really a map they love. I mean, they permaban nuke, but they'll go to Inferno, but it feels like sometimes they do it just because they have to. I did not know that INTERZ played left-handed though. His molly killed Deaths there, what the hell? Maybe that was the final straw. Movistar Riders like, alright, Deaths, we gotta cut you, bud. Can't be dying to mollies. Oh, this player, quad. There's a pain in the side of INTERZ there. Home sweet home for INTERZ, jiggling this Hall's position. But I mean, as far as teams that INTERZ could improve in the top 20, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how good his English is. If he would end up going to an international squad, I feel like he would likely stick with the Russian-speaking squad for some reason. I feel like that's just what my gut tells me. He's been with Cloud9, Gambit forever, just speaking Russian. Just switch over, speak a new language. He can get paid to just speak his native tongue. Seems unlikely to me. I feel like he'd be likely to just move to another CIS squad. Certainly a solid player that a lot of teams could use. I mean, one win. They also I think they benched Lollipop 2K. I don't know if one win would be a team that INTERZ would consider going to. I don't know if one win would have the purchasing power from Cloud9. Cloud9 bought this whole roster plus the coach for about $1 million. Imagine if they were able to flip one of the players for like a third of that. I feel like Shiro's worth as much as the whole squad was at this point. Likely to be ranked the third best player of 2022. Good awareness from INTERZ. Dodge that flash. Watch for the aggression. He's got a teammate with him in apps, so it takes a bit more of an aggressive line this time. Trying to kind of dodge out a shot there, peeking with his, like, letting his arm extend. Kill felt like a gimme on Deaths there. Playing off his team. Solid teamwork out of the former Gambit Cloud9 squad. Looking like potentially former Cloud9 INTERZ. Looks like he got an AK drop from him. Looks like perhaps from Hobbit. Not quite as dripped out as the blue gem crown foil. AK, but you know, a 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐄𝐒 is a 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐿. It'll get the job done, okay? And what do you guys think? Should Cloud9 have benched INTERZ? Should they have just perhaps beefed up on other parts of the squad? Get some mental coaches, figure out what's holding them back in these deep playoff runs? Or was INTERZ, you know, necessary shift? I mean, you can't shift 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐿. He's just too good. Top 3 player. 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐿, can't shift him. He's too solid of a player. Top 10 player for sure. And then, do you really want to swap up the 𝐈𝐍𝐿, Nafany? I mean, that's really the only other person you can consider. 𝐂𝐓, solid, older player. Most teams you see in like the top 10 have at least one kind of solid older veteran presence. This Cloud9 squad's pretty young, but 𝐂𝐓 kind of feels like the old head of the bunch. Want to take one for the team there, so that oof, 𝐂𝐎𝐍 somehow not take out INTERZ through that smoke. INTERZ getting some multi-kills this game, making it look easy. Right now, just putting the hurt on the Movistar riders. But I think just like the rumors of INTERZ potentially getting dropped from Cloud9 were kind of unexpected for a lot of people. A lot of analysts, pros, community, all like what the heck? INTERZ is goated. Why would you do such a thing? INTERZ has had a fairly solid year. Just squad hasn't really come up to snuff when it really counts. Feels like they're not really satisfied with just being like a top 5, top 10 team. They want to win some trophies. I think they did win IEM Dallas. Kind of put that Gambot onliners narrative to rest, that they could ultimately perform on LAN. They were not online players. Them winning that event, it's a big signifier of that. INTERZ has been part of this core since, you know, they went over from Gambit. For all the roster moves, this is probably the most shocking. I mean, SDY departing from Na'Vi, fairly expected. I mean, right now it is kind of rumored that Rain is potentially gonna drop from FaZe temporarily. Not very expected, but also not unexpected as well, considering I think his wife just gave birth to a child. I just want to be a daddy. You want to be a daddy, chat? Right now, INTERZ is the daddy of this apartments area. He's just been... Well, they have not had any aggression. I feel like he's just been holding the push. They just never peek it. They're just kind of playing that cookie cutter setup on A. Like, to locking down that lane area. Never any apps aggression. You know, he's got to make sure. So I know, like, if you think about Overpass, right? Like, the bathrooms and compared to, like, apartments on Inferno, like, kind of this neutral ground that you're fighting for, like, CT side, Overpass, kind of locking down that bass control is pretty essential, but CT side meta on Inferno, not quite the same. A lot of times, teams will just give up all the space and apps, kind of lock down that choke point that is this, like, lane, truck side area. And INTERZ is the one here to kind of sniff out any of that funny business, any of that apps aggression. Looks like Movistar hasn't even... Ooh, how did he even take down this? I feel like I didn't even see him. That was quick. That was crisp. But yeah, this game was a hell of a performance from INTERZ against the Spaniards. I think 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶 was not able to clutch that out. Picking up 𝐂𝐎𝐿's AK. I like the sticker combo. He's got the weeb and a moo girl, the 3 battle scarred scrape stickers on nice Wild Lotus AK. I'd say this pretty much has as much drip as the blue gem case hardened with the crown foil. It's on the same tier. It's looking hot. After watching the Buster demo earlier today, where he's just kind of lurking, holding the flank of his squad, seeing a lot of the same from that with INTERZ, making sense kind of why he would potentially get replaced by someone where they kind of all have the same roles. It looks like Cloud9, they're restructuring their squad here. They kind of opt that it's not a restructuring, that they just kind of swap out one player that has, you know, similar tendencies, roles to another player, and just kind of hoping that little shift in perhaps team dynamics will make a difference. Oh, 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶 does get picked off of the flank there. That was kind of INTER's duty to lock it down, but hey, sometimes you get timing. It is what it is. It be what it be. Cloud9 is able to convert that round. INTERZ has not had to do a lot of the dirty work on T side. He's definitely been kind of put in those late round clutch situations where he has to convert some multi-frags, and he is delivering. Doesn't really have to do the dirty work of kind of cracking open those bomb sites. That is not his job. His job just to kind of get this apps control, kind of lock down the flank, some supporting util as needed, clutch up as needed. And he had some solid clutches. We saw that 1v3 with the 𝐂𝐒𝐈𝐍𝐄𝐒. What was that, round 2? Like, bang, right on in. INTERZ hitting fat clutches, exactly what they needed from him there. Yeah, in this round, he just kind of dummy chilled up in these T-side apps. Doesn't have to do a lickety split. INTERZ just tired of the waiting. He says 15 rounds of doing this slow-mo apps control, I'm done with it. It's like, the hell with it. I'm walking it down quick, telling his squad like, yeah man, they give all the apps for free every round. Do hear that player, Hobbit. INTERZ are gonna want to strike on that. Stranded from the bomb though. Yeah, no way Hobbit converts. Bringing us to the second half. Like they have him on this B position with 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶 and Hobbit throwing a supporting a flashbang. cannot convert any kills there. But 11-5 up CT side, going for the force buy. Another supporting flashbang for his teammate here. Working with 𝐂𝐎𝐒𝐒. 𝐂𝐎𝐒𝐒's got that scout behind the great upper that is 𝐂𝐎𝐒𝐒, likely to be the number 3 player of the year. You know, there's some solid support players like INTERZ. Can 𝐂𝐎𝐒𝐒 keep up this like absolutely domineering performance at the end of 2022 going into 2023? They do replace INTERZ, or will his performance sink a bit? I mean, these players have a lot of time played together. Interesting one-way lineup here for this ninja position. Not a fun spot here. 4 spot. Now you gotta try to retake the site somehow. Ooh, INTERZ just clotheslining Martinez, cracking open his skull like a watermelon. Throwing a supporting flashbang as well. They're gonna have an op on 𝐂𝐎𝐒𝐒 next round. They ain't sweating. But now, oh, you got some P250 to work with. I have to make some magic with the P shooter. And Hobbit shows how it's done. It's like, alright, youngins, I can do it. You can get yourself 2 here, INTERZ. Oh, they jump right into him. But his team unable to convert, unsurprisingly. They finally strapped gun to the teeth. Tossing the homie Amali. It's going to be that supporting element here, ready to flash behind Hobbit and Nafany as they fight in this banana control. He's got a flash for behind them or a flash for banana. Just has a nice little pop flash for banana there. Drops a Molotov, drops a smoke. Supporting flashes his teammates, supports his team by giving them some utility as well. Enabling them to lock down that B bomb site. Yeah, he spotted them both. Freely rotate. The riders, they don't even smoke the cross CT. INTERZ able to find a nice timing there. Dropping over a teammate here as well. Definitely showing to be a strong supporting force on the squad, giving 𝐂𝐎𝐒𝐒 the run boost he needs to potentially clock one of them. I have to call him 𝐿𝐻𝐿TERZ for some reason. 𝐂𝐎𝐒𝐒 INTERZ combo. Doesn't really have a great ring to it, but INTERZ, he really does like kind of jiggling these, well, he likes to jiggle T-side apps. He likes to jiggle this arch angle as well. It's a pro tip, find one spot on each side of the map where you like to jiggle and just go to town. Cheeky little off angle here to watch the balcony push. I actually like that spot. Not super common. Kind of hard to clear that as a T. There's just so many angles when you swing out on the balcony. Like clearing back sight on top of that box, like no way. Kind of getting the job done there for his squad that round. They were able to ultimately get that with the 2 kills. I think this was before the A1S nerfed to 20 bullets. If he had 5 less, oh no, this is 20 bullets still. Felt like he shot 25. INTERZ was just that clean with it here. Squad mopped up there, didn't have to do much at all. A lot like the T side. You know, INTERZ wasn't really necessarily, you can make the argument, like most impactful in a lot of these early to mid rounds, but he did get that really big 1v3 clutch early on in the game. Some nice supporting flashes for his team on CT side. Just, you know, he's kind of there where they needed him to be, despite not doing anything incredibly flashy this game. Kind of show why kind of a lot of the analysts, a lot of the players, a lot of the community kind of rate INTERZ so highly. And that's match point. INTERZ pretty much whatever bomb site he goes to, he's holding out utility, ready to back up his squad. Supporting flashes, smokes. Kind of see why he sometimes doesn't have a huge impact on the scoreboard, just being this supporting element. Yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're looking to support me, check out the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate all of you so much. I'll be streaming on my Twitch channel, FishTheHusky, when the pro games resume in a couple weeks. So look out for that. Thank you so much for all the support. Much love. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day or night.